Bruce's brother-in-law, part of the family. And from the family side, we'd just like to say thank you to all of you for being here today and sharing with us. What is a sad occasion? There's a lot of us old people around here, and quite frankly, we don't know when it's our turn. We just got to make sure that we keep on going. Smile, being part of the club. As I said before, got to stir up a little bit of shit every now and then. Keeps the heart going, keeps the brain going, and that's really what makes sure that we all go. No, I am Mike. I know you are. I don't need to shout in that thing. So, yeah, look, I mean, I've been a member of this club for 57 years. There's quite a few of us that have been here for a very long time. So we've all been a bunch of regulars, quite frankly. But we have saved a lot of lives. And it's always sad when we can't save someone. So, thanks all very much for being here today. What we're going to do is, I'm going to do that or do afterwards. And I think before we even start going through all these things, I would just like to have 1 minute silence, if we can do that. Thank you very much. And then we'll just give you a little bit of time to think about longing and about love. Awkward, tough, but it's going to be done. Kevin's going to have a little say now. And then Bruce. And if there's anybody that would like to pop up here and come in and chat with us all, please, feel free. Okay.
I'll thank you so much for such a nice turnout. Wasn't expecting so many, especially the circumstances. Okay, I'll put some words down here. I'm never good at speaking, so I wrote it down just to try and see what I think. Margaret Evelyn Koll. I should say Margie. Margaret without the gritty bit. But we all knew she had a lot of grit and a whole lot of grace, and she always managed to put a smile on my face. It was the little things that filled me with joy and happiness, from the compulsory little bear hug for every time, visiting, leaving, or just because. How she would, when we were kids, sometimes make something to eat that would make food resemble a smiley face or something like interesting, like an aeroplane or whatever. And this usually somehow turned my frown upside down if I was having a bad day. I remember clearly, about 2-3 years ago, in my 40s, I came past to pop in to visit Mom. Had a really terrible day. It was just lots of things going on. And she said to me, "You look hungry." I said, "Mom, you need to check your glasses prescription. I'm good." She said, anyway, went to help Dad, sorting out in his office there. A few minutes later, she brings out this plate of bangers and mash with a big smiley face. And I looked at her with a big smile. She wrapped her arms around me, said, "You will always be my little boy. I'm the mama. Gotta love me." What I do for those bear hugs right now. Love you, boy, always and forever. Thank you, Dad.
I really really enjoy you all being here. It's such a surprise, a lot of faces that I haven't seen for a long time and everything like that there. It really touches my heart. Thank you very much. I've just got to say thank you, Margie. I met Margie when she was 16. Her twin brother was my rival enemy. When I rode a bicycle, I had to be the fastest. Then we got motorbikes. I had the fastest motorbike. He would modify his motorbike. Then I'd have to modify mine, and we were arch enemies and everything. And he got hit by a car, and the handlebars went through his stomach. And I just thought, the right thing to do is to go and see him in hospital and just sort of see how he is. You know, I wish he had gotten taken out or something, but it was there. And when I got there was this little chick there, really a nice-looking little woman. And I went to go and say hello to her, and she hid behind her father. What's the matter? No, she's very shy. So I said to Lawrence, who's that chick? He said, that's my twin sister. And then, it took me 2 or 3 years to get Margie to go out on a date with me. Because first of all, she was only obsessed with dieting and dancing. Because Margie, at 15, was dancing for Pat in South Africa. So she was always on diet, always thing there. And then her mother also kept boys away from her because she was worried about Margie. So Bruce is quite a cunning old son. He decided to chaff his mother up. And after really being nice to the mother for about 2 years or so, I was allowed to start taking Margie out. And that's how we did. And, you know, it was quite fun. Then my parents, my old man had a heart attack and everything like that. He lost his pilot's license, and he was looking for something else to do, so he bought a yacht in Durban. Hence, they moved down to Durban. Then Margie's mother and father decided they didn't want to live in Joburg anymore, so they moved to Durban. So Bruce got the job of moving into Margie, and Lawrence inherited a house. I had to move into the house with them, and that was how it all started. So we all, 3 of us lived together. Lawrence was worse than anything else. He never knew when to come home. He couldn't come home if he wasn't drunk, and then when he came over at 2 o'clock in the morning, he'd eat all our food. Eventually we decided, it's enough of this shit. So we decided, no, we're going to get married. So we planned the whole wedding and everything, and because the parents were all down here, Margie and I we lived up there and we got married in Durban, in Mbogantwini. I've got to say, we met such nice people at our wedding and everything like that there. And then also at the same time, I was working on the Captain's Missile, and then the whole arms embargo started, so I was virtually out of a job. So we decided, no, we moved down to Durban as well. And that's the thing there. And I've just got to just say to you, whatever we did, Margie was always behind me. You know, I would come home and this and that, Margie was helping. Margie also got a fantastic job when she moved down here. Margie was HR manager for SAPREF. I don't know how she winged it and got that job, but she did it, and she did very well out of it. But yeah, so that's how we came to move down here, and Margie and I got married and then came to live down here. Yeah, that goes on there. And then after we'd married 4 or 5 years, my mother, Margie's mother, my sister, all of them, when are you going to have kids? You know, you need to have children. And Margie's would turn around and say to anybody, what do you think I am? I'm not a mother cow or human incubator. I'm not going to have children. You know, and then after pressure for about 3 or 4 years, Arthur, Michelle, met them, and then Margie said, maybe we can have a kid. So yeah, then came along Kevin. When Kevin was born, I thought, how the hell is Margie going to look after this child? She doesn't want children, she doesn't want to be a mother cow, she doesn't do anything there. And something else popped out when I turned there. From that day on, Margie became everybody's mother. I'm sure you could all sit there. Margie's mothered every one of you. And people, she just changed and became such a people's person. Then Glennie came along. Same thing. Then she was always doing something with her kids and that sort of stuff. Kevin joined the Cubs. What did Mommy have to do? Mommy joined the Cubs. Mommy became car of the Cubs and that sort of stuff. So Margie was a Cub too. Then Glennie started dancing. Margie started dancing with Glennis as well. And I've got to say, she supported us kids and myself every day. I had a very good job, everything like that, and I got pissed off at work one day. I got home, I said to Margie, I'm going to resign. She says, what do you want to do that for? I said, I've had enough of that place. She said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to start my own business. She looked at me and she said, if that's what you want to do, we'll do it. And yeah, that's what happened. Margie backed me up with every single thing that I did. You know, so I'm just going to say, I've been very fortunate to live with Margie for 55 years. And it was an absolute pleasure. You know, it's just very sad, but that's part of life, I think, there. And also, I've got to tell you all, when Margie went over last year, we hadn't spent more than 5 days apart since we've been married. Then she went over to the Isle of Man there, and then it was extended, and she spent 5 months there. So it was a good thing, but she was also so happy. And then, when Glennis wanted to finish her studies, Glennis phoned me and said, Dad, I need to borrow Margie again. I said, why? Well, I'm going to do this course, and I'm doing this course, and then I'm going to fly out to South Africa and sell up everything, and then go back. So I said, well, what sort of period are we talking about? She said, 6 months. I said, anyway, it's what you do for your kids, and that's what Margie wanted to do. And if you all saw the pictures and everything like that there, Margie went over there. Margie was so happy, it was unbelievable. Margie did things that she didn't do here. Margie liked to stay at home here, keep to herself and everything like that there. She went to schools. She met all the women at school like we did, what you did with our children. Went to the school, chatted with all the kids at the school there and everything like that. And Margie got involved in these lift club groups and all that sort of stuff. So I think it was something that she really enjoyed to do in there. And Kim, your friend lived 2 doors from her. Margie just decided to become friends with them as well. And so she was always going there and visiting. I think she could get a free beer there or something, so she went. You know, and that's the thing there. But all I've got to say to you all, I'm going to miss Margie terribly, and I was very fortunate to have such a beautiful wife. And you know what? I'm not going to have another one. Because that was 55 years of training wasted.
Although we could not be here today, with Glennis and her children, I sent this message with love from Australia. From a young age, you must have been a beacon of love, warmth and compassion in my life, and looked after me as I was one of your own. I'm so thankful for the opportunity to spend valuable... So, see, this is it. I get married in this family, I get pushed around all the time. All right. I'm so thankful for the opportunity to spend valuable time with you last year in the Isle of Man, where my son could meet and spend time with this wonderful woman that I called Mom. Auntie Margie had the extraordinary ability to make everyone feel welcome, special, and loved in her home. She was the lasagna queen, and the number of times I would have begged and pleaded for Thursday night lasagna was countless. She taught me the importance of kindness, value of hard work, and the power of care. She was always cheering quietly from the sideline, offering a compassionate shoulder to cry on and celebrate the small victories in life, no matter what came my way. Her strength in times of adversity inspired all her children, Kevin, Glynis, and me, to face life head-on with grace and determination. I remembered as a kid the number of adventures we experienced together was just priceless. The memories are still as vivid in my mind as it was from 40 years ago. Auntie Margie was the last selfish person I knew and would go up and beyond to help anybody in need. Although Auntie Margie is no longer with us physically, her spirit lives on in the lessons she taught us and the love she shared. We will miss her gentle guidance, her comforting, larger-than-life bear hugs, and her unwavering support. Auntie Margie, may you finally get some rest. Your flag will fly high and proud. Love, Flippy, Vilma, and PJ. Right. Anybody else would love to come up here? Come on up.
Oh, you might need to put that lower. Hello, everyone. Just everybody here, near and far, as we celebrate the life of Margie in Warner Beach, the Isle of Man, and other parts of the world. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lauren, a friend of Glynis's, and we'd like to call ourselves Soul Sisters. And I'm here to share some special words on behalf of Glennie. I'm gonna have to hold my breath a little bit. You never said I'm leaving. You never said goodbye. You were gone before I knew it, and only God knew why. 1,000,000 times I needed you. 1,000,000 times I cried. If love alone could have saved you, you never would have died. In life, I loved you dearly. In death, I love you still. In my heart, you hold a place that no one could ever fill. It broke my heart to lose you. But you didn't go alone, for a part of me went with you the day God took you home. Your death was sudden and merciful, but losing you has been the most hardest thing. Still, not sure how I'm going to navigate life without you. I'm going to start by continuing to share part of you with the world. My hugs might not be as giant as yours. My laugh not as contagious. My dancing not as natural because Kev got your rhythm. However, being a safe and warm and welcoming place, making time for people, listening, caring, kindness and thoughtfulness, cheerleading, checking in, cooking for an army, and showing up, I can do. Mommy, these are just a few of your qualities that made you such a special person. It is why so many people loved and cared for you, and it is also the reason we have so much love and support right now. Your memory is my keepsake, with which I'll never part. Though you are no longer here with me, you'll live forever in my heart. The lessons you taught, the love you gave, and the kindness you showed will guide me through each day. I promise to carry your light with me, honoring your spirit in all that I do. Today is a hard day as we say goodbye. I know you don't want us to cry and be sad. Please understand, your wings were ready, but our hearts were not. So we will have a few tears and moments of sadness, but we will also do our best to have a good time celebrating you, today and every day, while knowing that we have just gained one of the best angels. Thank you for being my mommy, for all that you were and all you did. Until we meet again, I love you more than tongue can tell. These are Glennie's beautiful words. And I just want to thank you all for being here today, celebrating a very, very special woman. And considering the gloomy weather that we have today, I just feel like it was a way of honoring Margie, because she was the sunshine in our lives. She really was the life of the party. Always, hello, beautiful, how are you? And she was just the most welcoming, warm person. And I just, loved her so, so, so much. And I'm thinking of all the family, Glennie, as she celebrates her mom's life from afar. And I just pray that Margie's legacy lives on through you. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Some of you know me, unfortunately. I was the son that Bruce and Margie never wanted. They were always treating me like their own son. And seeing how Kevin turned out, I don't know where they went wrong with me. One thing I will remember about Margie is popping in to visit her, sharing a beer, sneaking off around the back to have a cigarette because she didn't want Bruce to know, but Bruce knew. She always motivated me. When I was young, Kevin and I used to DJ together, and I got the opportunity to DJ at a huge function in Joburg, a big rave. And I made a mix CD, and I was walking around totally selling mix CDs, and I was 600 Rand short for my travel, and Margie just gave it to me so I could go and live my dream. And I met people at that rave and ended up getting a job in the music industry in Joburg. At the end of that, I was actually working in a recording studio, my dream job. Unfortunately, Kevin and I also had a few bad habits, and my bad habits ended up me losing my dream job. So I came back to Durban, and I went into the internet business, and that's where I've been ever since. And still to this day, Bruce and Margie have always motivated me, and whenever I've just wanted to pop in and visit Margie, chat to her while she's gardening, and then sneak off for a cigarette around the back. Don't tell Bruce. Bruce knew. A few months ago, YouTube recommended a video to me, and it was a poem. And the day Kevin phoned me to give me the news, that poem came straight into my head. So I want to read it to you guys. Excuse my twitching, I have an anxiety disorder, so it's too many people, but I'm trying. The poem's called If Tomorrow Starts Without Me by David Emirano. When tomorrow starts without me, and I'm not there to see, if the sun should rise and find your eyes all filled with tears for me, I wish so much you wouldn't cry the way you did today, while thinking of the many things we didn't get to say. I know how much you love me, as much as I love you, and each time that you think of me, I know you'll miss me too. But when tomorrow starts without me, please try to understand that an angel came and called my name and took me by the hand and said my place was ready in heaven far above, and that I'd have to leave behind all those I dearly love. But as I turned to walk away, a tear fell from my eye. For all my life, I always thought I didn't want to die. I had so much to live for, so much left yet to do. It seemed almost impossible that I was leaving you. I thought of all the yesterdays, the good ones and the bad. I thought of all the love we shared and all the fun we had. If I could relive yesterday, just even for a while, I'd say goodbye and kiss you and maybe see you smile. But then I realized that this could never be, for emptiness and memories would take the place of me. And when I thought of all the things I might miss come tomorrow, I thought of you, and when I did, my heart was filled with sorrow. And then I walked through heaven's gates. I felt so much at home when God looked down and smiled at me from his great golden throne. He said, "This is eternity, and all I've promised you. Today your life on earth is past, but here life starts anew. I promise no tomorrow, but today will always last. And since each day's the same way, there's no longing for the past. You have been so faithful, so trusting and so true. Though there were times you did some things you knew you shouldn't do. but you have been forgiven, and now at last you're free. So won't you come and take my hand and share your life with me? So when tomorrow starts without me, don't think we're far apart. For every time you think of me, I'm right here in your heart.
I don't want to make things formal, but is anybody else, wherever you are, want to just say something about something you can relate with Margie or anything like that?
Can I just say that I met Margie with our children were the same age, and we did cuts together. And we lived quite near each other, but I went back teaching. But whenever I saw her, it was like we never had been apart. We just were kindred spirits, and I'm going to miss her.
No, she was very fond of that and everything like that. But that was Margie. If you hadn't seen Margie for a while, when you got together, it was as though you had never been apart and that sort of stuff there. I've also got to say something about Margie. She never found anything bad in anybody, except in me when I was misbehaved. But she had a real cause to that there, because we were married for 49 years thing there, and I always said we'd make the 50 years, but she needs a medal for that, not me. Anybody else?
I just think today's attendance speaks for itself, and the amount of people that came here to support the family, I think is amazing. And I was fortunate enough to go and support him on.
Glenn, did you see some pictures of you there? Hey? Look how young you were then. You also had no kids then. Glenn was also the most fantastic person. After Glennis was born, or after Kevin was born, Margie had to go back to work. And Glennis looked after Kevin every single day for us. I still appreciate it. You did a good job of him, not me. Nobody else. Can we have another tune just for Margie's sake, please? And then, yeah. You're lucky Margie's not